Hello, Sam Rogers here to share with you a session that I gave at DevLearn 2018. This was part of the Meming Today's Hottest Learning Trends session. It's an interesting format where there are 20 seconds for 20 auto-advancing slides, and there were a number of presenters delivering sessions like this. Every day, people in organizations large and small all across the world are taking training. People in charge used to be content with taking attendance for who showed up or giving an assessment at the end of the training, getting back a score. You pass, you fail. The world was a simpler place then. A transcript that said, "I was here and I know this much" was enough, and if the training was bad, the smile sheets would frown. But that didn't happen very often, so afterwards everyone just went back to their jobs, hopefully doing them better, but don't ask too many questions because we don't really know. But then the people in charge kept asking those pesky questions. Things like, did her performance really improve? Or how much of this video do people actually watch? Or who just clicked all over the place until they passed your silly little infinite retake exam? And those of us who make the training, we wanted more too. Asking things like, when people click on the wrong hotspot, where do they usually click? Or how many people selected response B on multiple choice question number 4 in the quiz and then selected it again in the exam? Well, we can't answer questions like this with our SCORM and AICCE learning modules or with our learning management systems. They just don't do that. We need something more. We need more information so that we can know more things that help us improve what we do. We don't just need data. We need big data. Now, big data can tell us big things, big important things about the training that we make and how to improve it, the people that we train and how they improve over time, and other things, more things, so many things, all the things. There's just a couple teensy, itsy bitsy, not really much of a problem at all, problems. Well, you see, most of the time, the people in charge don't really know much about what they want. I mean, not specifically. Even if they do, they just want it all to be simple. They don't want to spend much time or money to know these things, and they certainly don't want to tell us why they want to know them. But knowing more complicated things means using more complex systems to gather, to store, and to report on all this data. We can do it, but it takes way more time and effort than usual. And maybe these are tools and skills that we don't have. Maybe we shouldn't be the ones to do it at all. But in any case, the outputs, the analytics, the data, the metrics, these things cannot simply be bolted on at the end of our existing workflow. There can be no more I before E in our ADDIE strategy. And successively approximate all you want, but you still have to know what you want. Now, we work in training, or learning and development, or learning experience, or workplace performance improvement, or whatever you want to call it. We're almost always a cost center. And there's only one reason, and one reason alone, to measure more about the training that we're already making. That is to make a decision about the continued delivery or enhancement of similar work in the future. That's it. When someone asks you for a report or a measurement or whatever, it's because they need to decide something and they need your data to inform their decision. Big data, that may or may not really be needed. Data might be a great buzzword that gets all the buzzers buzzing, but even in the very best case, no matter how scientifically accurate and complicated our measurements may be, all we can ever do with them is reduce uncertainty about the future. Basically, we can guess better. But there will be no guarantees. Science has been around for a very long time. Science has never been in that business. Science just helps us make better guesses with the data that we've gathered. Big or small, that data will never be complete. So when is it enough? How big do you need your data to be? That depends. Depends on a lot of things, namely who is going to use it and what for. First, you need to know what matters, and only then can you choose what counts and how best to count it. And if you want to show something like, say, the ROI of training, you'll need more than learning data to do that. You'll need to combine your analytics with some workplace performance analytics, and you'll likely want a before and after snapshot. You probably want a control group. There's some more sciencey stuff to do here, and your LMS will not do this. Your LCMS will not do this. And newsflash, your LRS, it won't either. None of the tools or systems that we training people have access to are designed for that kind of task, because it's not a training task. It's an accounting task. It's a business intelligence task. But wait, is this a task that really needs doing? Is it the best place to put our very limited training resources? Sure, somebody asked about it, okay, but how much data do they really need for this guess? How much measuring is enough for that someone to make that decision? With more time and more resources, yes, we can gather more data, and we can get much more creative about how to use it. But remember that any time we spend more to gather and to analyze that data than the value of the decision itself, we overplay our hand and everyone loses. It'll have academic value, sure, but the data will show a business value that's clearly in the red. Big data is a big trend for a big reason. Much of the stuff that you and I put out isn't very good. It might look good production-wise, but does it do good for the organization, for the people? If you already know or suspect that it doesn't, you already know you need to do better. Do it now, before big data is looking. The moral of this story is, big data can do a lot of big things. Big data is coming, but big data will always be incomplete data. And it still can't make your decisions for you either. It can only help you and the organization you serve to make better decisions than you do now. Get to it. This has been my recreation of what was at DevLearn 2018. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please do reach out. I would love to talk with you about this or probably many other topics as well. Thanks.